The Keshe Foundation is extending
Share.
The Keshe Foundation is extending an invitation to medical doctors of any practice and specialty to apply to the Foundation's private weekly medical teaching workshop. This includes medical doctors, dentists, and veterinarians. Scientists of the Keshe Foundation developed different types of plasma therapies and cures that utilize advanced, non-invasive plasma technology. The weekly private medical teaching workshop educates doctors to the plasma science behind the therapies, along with the functionality and operation of revolutionary plasma medical devices. The goal of the private teachings is to add plasma health knowledge to the profound knowledge of medical doctors. The weekly class is broadcast live over the internet through a secure private channel every Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central European Time. Presently, the class is only offered in English. However, you are free to bring a translator to the class. If you can't participate in the live broadcast, you can watch them later at your convenience through a private internet portal. Every patient's case that is discussed in the workshop will be kept anonymous and private. This includes cataloged findings and data gained from the analysis of the patient's health issues. Any medical doctor in the world who wants to participate can do so by sending an email to doctors@spaceshipinstitute.org. In your email, please state your willingness to participate in the medical teaching workshop. If you're planning on bringing a translator to the workshop, please state this in your email as well. After we receive your email, we will contact you with the instructions on how to apply to the workshop. As a part of the application process, applicants who apply, including any translators brought into the workshop, will be required to sign the Keshe Foundation's World Peace Treaty, which can be found at the following web address. All applicants will be required to provide proof of their education and ability to practice medicine, and will also be required to pass an extensive security background check before they are granted access to the teaching workshop. Healthful plasma technology is here, now, the use of which is increasing exponentially on a day-to-day basis on every continent. We encourage you to come and learn about this revolutionary technology. Apply today. Keshe Foundation Ghana, in association with Ghana Atomic Commission and Ghana Spaceship Institute, would like to invite you to attend the New Dawn, Africa's Meteoric Rise in Spaceship Technology Conference, October 17th through 19th, 2016, in Ghana. Keshe Foundation Ghana's mandate is to build awareness and promote research into plasma technology. The Foundation is presently working with governmental institutions and other interest groups in Ghana to fulfill this goal. At the conference, you will be afforded the opportunity to learn about and experience plasma technology firsthand. The cost of admission to the conference includes 3-night stay in one of Ghana's prestigious hotels. Hotel packages include a single, double, or twin room option, and an option for an apartment or suite. Breakfast, tea, and coffee breaks and a buffet lunch on the days of the conference are also included. Keshe Foundation Ghana is focused on utilizing plasma technology to solve numerous problems facing the African nation. Come to the New Dawn, Africa's Meteoric Rise in Spaceship Technology Conference in Ghana. Learn about plasma technology and learn how you can participate in spreading the word about it. Together, we can bring freedom to Africa and humanity. And we hope to see you there.
Welcome everyone to the 142nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. And once again, we are here with Mr. Keshe of the Keshe Foundation, and we will have a report today from the conference in Ghana and some other things. There's workshops going on around the world. We'll likely hear from some of the local workshops in the Washington area. And Mr. Keshe, are you ready to go there today?
Yes, good morning, good day to you. As usual, wherever and whenever you listen to us, we say good day to you from the most sunny, beautiful place, warm Ghana. As a lot of you know, we always, as usual, into where we have the conference. Our team, usual team, was here. Thank you to Stanley and Ella. Thank you to Benjamin. He's done a most fabulous job. Thanks to Alex flying in from Nigeria to be with us to present his knowledge in the conference, and I would like to thank Dr. Wata in flying from Kenya to present the agricultural side. I think with those, and if you have seen the Ghanaian press, and we now are aware the knowledge has been and the information has been shared with other African nations, because there were some from other nations present. The breakthrough which will change the course has started. In the presentation, as you see, we are dealing, the presentation was part of the Ghanaian Atomic Commission, and as you see, leading and what they call militaries were available, present in all 3 days, and actually the numbers as the message got through increased to the 3rd day, which is very unusual that the conference tails off usually on the 3rd day, but we had more people on the 3rd day than we had on the 1st day. The head of Atomic Ghana Commission was present, and this has changed the course, very much so. There was something we told you we would not disclose till we arrive. We came to Ghana with one thing in hand, one mind, and that was to change the course and bring peace to this nation and Africa. And we have achieved. In so many ways, the surprise was that we brought with us products which can affect malaria, HIV, and cancer in a matter of hours. We have offered the material to the government of Ghana, and other representatives of other countries were present. So we have offered it to the whole of Africa. In the coming days, we have been set to start the full cooperation and development with different nations, and especially with Ghana, in different shapes and forms with different forces. What we did, and we requested, and it seems to be coming answered response, was to bring the military to work with the scientists. And what we hear, the military is in favor, because we explain it's no good having the knowledge if we cannot spread it across the nation. And the only way you can spread knowledge like this that saves a child's life, or a father that will be with his family because of a malaria or because of HIV, is that the soldiers to be trained to take the knowledge through and teach it in every way, as is the work of the Keshe Foundation. We exchanged knowledge for peace. The only way we can get to the peace for the nation is when the military is involved. And you see amongst them different armed forces present, security services were present. If you read the article, it tells you all the security forces, even the African, Pan-American security forces, were amongst us, because the message was very clear. The technology, the change is for Africa. We are not in the hand of a few fools who can write whatever they like. Now the technology has been tested by Africans, by Ghana Atomic for over a year. This summit is not a talk. The data they have collected. In the presentation, the Ghanaian scientists who've done the test presented their side of knowledge and their papers and their data. So it's not that we talked, it's that a year of collaboration, cooperation, purely by dedication of one man, Benjamin, has brought about this change. The change is fundamental. African nations, now they understand, they start moving, and in collaboration with the Atomic, this is the Atomic Commission official papers. As it says, we signed a memorandum, we told you a long time ago, this is official confirmation, Ghanaian Atomic Authority's pages, as you see. The Commission has done tests for every aspect of contamination, bacteria-wise and sediment, and other things. So they knew what is to come, and this was the confirmation of what has happened for months. Here, we informed you, we carried you through with us, and Benjamin continuously reported from Ghana. The breakthrough is that now all the tests, all the data, all the papers, all the knowledge will be shared with the rest of the African nations. This is one part of the process we've done. As you see, the gentleman in the middle of the picture, the white, is a ambassador to European country. He stayed in all the way through, in all the conference. And we see diplomats, politicians who came in and they sat, scientists. This presentation was 90% or 80-90% all nuclear physicists of a highest caliber. They were literally the cream of Ghana, were there to understand how we can collaborate to change different aspects, and they can start collaboration together. I think this conference was very beneficial for the Atomic Commission and the Ghanaian government and officials in actually gelling the whole of Atomic Commission and the military together. From now on, anything we release will be in conjunction with both. We work closely with security services. We release the name, what we call it, the data, and the name of the products and how we use it for their soldiers to carry it across the country. And the agreement, verbal agreement, more or less, I have received different confirmation. It will be starting, and it will start from more or less already in progress. And next week we set up the pattern. Keshe Foundation came to Ghana to make a change. And we have made the change. From Ghana to Kenya, to Nigeria, to Mali, to Togo, to South Africa, and the rest. This process has started internationally in such a scale that the governments have and start looking into it. And they are getting involved. This morning we have received that one of the biggest cancer agents, we released the data, which is, and has killed many people in United States. And in Europe has become now one of the biggest problems for governments, which the poison had entered the food chain. We were asked about 3 weeks ago to look into it, because past 15 years they have not managed to find a solution for. The poison is very much like what you see in this conference. The poison is different, but understanding the technology is the same. This poison is one of the most dangerous poisons which has entered North European waters. Governments do not know what to do, and produces cancers, creates cancers in zero time, more or less. Is a byproduct of one of the materials which we all use every day in our houses. The mother company in United States was fined $360 million plus, and it got number of cases pending for creating cancer. We received the official results yesterday from the laboratories of the what we call government of Italy, that the effectiveness of reduction is 90% after 2 weeks of testing. Talking to our guys in Italy, and the official papers will be released to us today or tomorrow. This changes a lot of things, especially for North America, and especially for Italy, Switzerland, Austria, and Germany, and part of France. The waters are contaminated highly in that region. It's a byproduct which is entered, and up to now, they could manage to pilfer 250,000 liters a year at a cost of $100,000 or 100,000 euros. With this data which has come out of the lab, from the governmental lab, and is actually very scientifically analyzed, we have achieved 90% plus in the first test. All it is to increase some of the parameters and to achieve 100%. You will hear it in the European newspapers in the next few days, because it's so fundamental. It is such a big change. It's the same with atomic. We received the confirmation again in past 2-3 days. As you all know, we were heavily involved in Fukushima, and now official test by the Japanese scientists in Tokyo has started. The first products were completed this morning in Tokyo. The procedure has started, and the whole of Japanese government is watching the process. This is the replication of what happened in Fukushima with TEPCO. This is this time done independently by the universities, by one of the leading scientists who graduated from this university some 20 years ago. And now the process has started in evaluating the cancer, the reduction in radiation and contamination of the body, and in the process of other diseases. I thank the heads of Tokyo University, one of the leading scientific universities in Tokyo in Japan. We thank you for accepting the challenge and starting the process. We will release, in conjunction with Ghana Atomic, the Tokyo University, and with Italian authorities in the nuclear section, the results. It won't be more than 4 to 6 weeks. This is fundamental. Now it has become multinational at a governmental level, and they have tested and they've seen the results. Keshe Foundation, through the data we have, and we will confirm more or less on daily basis, we can eradicate malaria totally in Africa. Trials in 2 countries starts this week. The beauty with this technology is that all of us can use it. Is the knowledge on the table. And from now on, whatever we do, we share with national securities. We share with governments directly. And at the same time, we will stand for governments to promote. As you just read on that article about the Ghana Atomic, the pre-interview Ghanaian television was repeated 2 or 3 times before, because they received such a interest from the Ghanaian public regarding what it was to come. and it was carried on for the presentation. From now on, we don't go just disappear. From now on, all the developments, production of all the materials, data tests, everything will be in public. We have requested, and hopefully it'll be agreed, that we go on the Ghanaian television once a week and we teach the public how to produce and how to use. The public is aware of this conference. If you go through all the television channels and media of the Ghana, they all have reported it. They've given it the full coverage. Now we have invited the televisions to come once a week, and Atomic Commission scientists will teach it. From there, due to the position of Ghanaian Atomic, in collaboration with different nations across Africa, the students and the people who are here from different African nations will be taught at the same time. So we have brought not only the government of Ghana into work through the commission, we have brought the Pan-African across the whole table. We have now that they see the success through the military, they will use their militaries to spread the knowledge. This is a huge success, and it's thanks to all of you. It's you who have kept the foundation in front. It's you who have delivered test and after test. On the back of this process, on the other sectors of the Ghanaian Atomic, the energy production will go into production. Ghanaian Atomic, Ghanaian government, Keshe Foundation have signed, and they go into joint production on the Ghanaian Atomic grounds premises for production. It's been insisted that it has to be done within the parameters of the Ghanaian Atomic, which means we will develop, we operate inside a governmental structure, and the benefit will be directly through the whole of Africa. Let me explain to you what is part of the beauty of this technology. We have developed and tested that we will announce. At the moment, for example, if you have a single tumor, large tumor, they give you radiation therapy. And then there is success of the radiation therapy with all its side effects, and then chemotherapy is horrendous. One of the doctors present said we lose so many patients with the first injection of chemo because the body cannot take it. The answer, through the test done in Tokyo, the injection of the new plasma material which we have developed directly into the tumor. From the data which has been received, the tumor disappears within 6 to 8 hours. Does not matter about the size. The only thing we see is the cavity. It dissolves, and the energy of the tumor becomes the energy of the body of the man. These tests will be done by the doctors which are and part of Tokyo University structure and Ghana, and in a few days' time, most probably in Italy. We have made a connection and a link between the 3 continents, scientists working together, and it seems they all enjoy it. It's a joint collaboration. I've asked all to join us, and no one has refused. I've just written an email to the Dean of the University in Tokyo, and the email I received from him, in a way, what he says, you could not have chosen anyone better than the person who's here on your behalf in our lab. He was one of our most highest celebrated students 20 years ago. And when he came with the proposal, we could not refuse to one of our highest students. And the documents we already know, we just want to confirm. So, if you have a tumor cancer, we have the answer. The beauty of it is, from the research in Japan, there are no side effects. No side effects whatsoever. There is no toxicity and there is no more tumor. The test with malaria, what we have done and what we developed is the same. What we are targeting is change of environment in the body of the man of a parasite. And it works. We have certified documents and now we bring it out in public. These will allow, in a very real way, we cannot, as part of the ITAS Education Foundation, doesn't matter if we deal with governments or animals or human beings or trees, destroy one to the other. With the new process which we have developed that will be used like a water, you change the environment that the malaria mosquito cannot live in the environment. You got to realize mosquitoes are part of one of the essential parts of the life of other species on this planet. We are looking at, and it's highly possible, we announce it very soon, from the data we have, we can make a vaccine out of this product. It is highly possible. You have to understand malaria is a parasite. Vaccines are usually good with viruses and the others. Parasites are living things. And there is a high possibility that we can deliver this material. Or we can change the environment that malaria mosquito does not want to live in the environment which is introduced, but it can live outside, across. What we see with the malaria water is that there is a possibility that we can reproduce it in a way that we can leave the small bottles of the product in water tanks. And this process will not allow the creation of only mosquito malaria larvae. This all takes a few weeks, no more. We are not talking about years of research. We know we have the material with us, which once injected into the blood of the man, within 4 hours, this is the confirmation from scientists in European laboratories. Within 4 hours, doctors cannot find any more malaria parasites in the body. This changes the game, and this is what is needed in Africa. You got to realize something very simple. I have spoken for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. In the past 15 minutes, according to United Nations data, 2 people have died of malaria. Over 30,000 officially and 65,000 unofficially die because of malaria every year. It means we are wasting time. By the time we finish this process this morning of teaching, over nearly 20 people have died of malaria. The African scientists of Ghana and other nations in the conference understood the urgency. We put the bottles on the table. We told them, you test it. We haven't come with theory, we have come here with the products, and we want it to be tested now. The strange thing is, in the same course of the teaching today, thousands of people will go down with a malaria attack, which never get reported. They go in their silence, in shivering and pain, and there is no solution. Now there is a solution. Total cost per person per year, most probably less than $1. This is why I invited the military to join us in this endeavor, and understood. And the strange thing is, the malaria scientists came on board. The malaria military, they came themselves as, we have malaria, we want to be the first candidate. And all we did, we took them across from military to the Ghana Atomic Hospital people, and we said, there is your volunteer. Your head of police has the malaria, he wants treatment. People just came in themselves, volunteering, the officials themselves. I have malaria, I want it now. I had to tell a high-ranking military guy that please come on Monday morning to Atomic Ghana and it'll be organized. The results are so effective that it cannot be denied. The economical cost is so insignificant that the country can afford it. This is the change which you have brought. This is the data which you as Keshe Foundation Worldwide has brought forward. In the next few weeks, we'll release the same data for cancer. Cancer efficiency is 100%. Literally 100%. If you got cancer and you're looking for a solution, go to Keshe Foundation, doctors at Keshe Foundation. You have to come to Ghana. Ghana will become the center of excellence for cancer, malaria, and HIV. We have told them to open the hotels and the hospitals will be open. The only thing is, you have to pay for it. This time you pay for treatment. The funds supports the research in Africa. You value your life, get yourself a ticket, come to Ghana. We'll come to an agreement with the government, visas will be issued for healthcare. Ghana becomes the center of excellence for a space health program. We are inside the atomic. They have the data and the research and development has been done here. You can go, you got loved ones who are dying of cancer. Now it's a ticket to Africa. Africa gave you life and now support it. We will not release this technology anywhere in Asia or Europe. It's Pan-African. Come to Ghana with cancer, go home without. Doctors at Keshe Foundation, doctors at spaceshipinstitute.org. You submit your application. You can travel to Ghana. You need only injections for yellow fever. We accept you openly in the Ghanaian Atomic Energy Hospital. Stay with us for a few days. Go back home with no cancer. There is no freeze. We have given enough freeze. African has given all its life and time and material for years free to Europe. Now you pay to come back in and get it. And that finance will pay for research, development and sharing the knowledge and allowing Africa to get out of this riddle of misery of malaria, HIV, which was introduced into the circle by European and American structure. We are not fighting no pharmaceutical. We are delivering our own technology. I have asked Armin, who was here with us, to start the manufacturing of decontamination packages in United States, Arizona factory. the new decontamination, it'll take another week, 2 weeks. Once Armand goes back tomorrow, you can buy it, keep it, have it handy as a life support in the case of nuclear accident, which is possible. We've seen it. All you need to use, follow the instruction. Every day, whatever you absorb in your body as nuclear material will wash out. It's a specific mixture. We know it's correct, it works, it has worked in Fukushima. We release data on how to do it. What you call the life support kits for radioactive decontamination will become part of the products on the Keshe Foundation manufacturing. You got to understand one thing. We were blocked by those who had clandestine activities and interest. Now the whole of Africa has the freedom. We accept pay in Ghana from today. Go to Keshe Foundation, sign in, value your life, how much it's worth to donate to Africa. There are no frees. According to what you pay and what your government pays for your chemotherapy, around about $150,000. What you pay to get cancer surgery, and then we know how much your life worth. You've been asking us how to do it. We have the freedom to do it through the governmental structure, through governmental hospital, and you can come, sign in, come in, and you know you're part of the testing structure. We know the results. We send you go home in less than 30 days with no cancer. Our biggest problem, as we discussed with someone which is very high within the structure, how are we going to cope with this? Nothing. We open more hospitals in Africa. Ghana is the first one. Come in. You do it. We invite you to come to Ghana. Walk in with cancer, walk in with HIV, walk in with malaria, go home with none. The only thing is to do is to enjoy the sun and the beach while you're getting processed, not staying in the hospital. You organize your hotels. We organize the hotel of the body of the man. The game has changed. Those who wanted to see the end and wrote whatever they want, now we hand you over to the security people who know what you've written. Your freedom is limited. The freedom of the man has started. Something which is important to understand is how the next steps will come. Next Thursday, we announce the members of the World Council. The 6th world member of World Council, the new government for this planet, will be announced next Thursday. 5 have accepted their position. And the 6th, which we have chosen, I will explain next Thursday how and why the criterion was chosen, will become the new leadership on this planet. The Universal Council has already operational, and the two work hand in hand to spread the knowledge which you have today and we spread through Ghana and will grow in Africa and the rest, would be their decision. Keshe Foundation will submit all its work through world government, what we call the World Council. What we were making to make one nation and one leadership that only works for the peaceful and application of the technology for humanity has been set. The criterion of choosing the 6 was very easy. Those of you who accepted the position, I thank you. Your name will be remembered by humanity. Your work starts next Thursday. The World Council will have the ultimate say on everything which the Keshe Foundation will do. They see the whole structure, they see the benefit for the whole humanity, and the work of the foundation will become part of their structure. We will announce the seat of the World Council next week, most probably, or within a short time. We set up the Universal Council to bring all the man through the language of understanding of their soul. Now we bring the man's what they wanted to become one. And what we call the World Council members are not the leaders. They are there, as the name goes, to consult, to understand, and to bring the whole thing together. No one has a voting right, and no one can buy others' promise. They work as one team, and the people we have chosen are pure in their soul. On the other hand, the whole structure is on the move. As I said in the conference, the arms and the armed forces become the arm to help and not to kill. And understood by the men of military and security present in the conference. The beauty is we don't need to fight. The beauty is they fight to be correct. Now they start seeing the result. As I said in the conference, in Europe, in America, malaria is a name. In Africa, in South America, in Southeast Asia, in parts, malaria means not having food on the table when the father dies. It's real. It's not others' problem. It's my problem. In Africa, HIV meant a lot of children went into the abuse by those who sit in Europe. This was the biggest fear of those who sit and oppose us and open all sorts of websites. By coming to Africa, by allowing no more man to die of malaria and HIV and the others, the supply of children will die. And that was their biggest fear, and now their fears have become reality. And the father is there, will not give his child, or his child will not be taken because you're going to look after your child very well, but in places for abuse by the others. Past few days, British government has released data on how many of children who came across have been murdered and gone missing by pedophiles. So data on British news. 3 children have been murdered coming through this channel by abuse. 47 missing in the hand of pedophiles. And they write. You don't hear it in Europe or in America. It's heard in Africa what is happening to the children of those lost parents with malaria and the others. It is real. And if you can stop the father to die for the child become part of the child trafficking and the others' right to support themselves, that they are right with it, now you understand why they're howling and shouting. It has sequence and it has consequence. The interesting thing is, now the energy production systems will come out of Africa too. In the presentation, we said, as they were the directors of the Ghana Atomic present in the meeting and their management, we announced that some of them are already using the power units and they're already seeing reduction in their bills. Why shouldn't this become for the whole of Africa? And it became silence. Nobody wants to say who was using it. And I gave the microphone to a doctor who I knew is using it in her house. And the doctor said, yes, I'm using it. We asked, can you tell us what is the reduction in your bill? She's a high-value international scientist and she was sitting next to her husband, another scientist. She said, my quarterly bill was 200. I said, what is now? She says, 35. She's saving 87%. I explained to the officials, this means you can not to invest to buy more power generators, but what you have can supply 6 times more. The public will share the production because they pay for the unit, and the government doesn't need to put the nation under debt for over 20, 30 years to buy the units which already is there. In a way, once we deliver the technology fully across Ghana, Ghana has enough energy to grow. Does not need to buy another power station. In the West, we see people saying we are a scam because it's what they are paid to do. In Africa, the directors of the power production nuclear centers who understand the technology and tested it, they confirm they have reached their reduction in their own homes. We know from Kenya scientists of Atomic Nuclear Center Commission connection, they are achieving nearly 90-95% reduction in their bills. Those who write that we are a scam, you can write because you've been paid to do. These are the same, what we call free energy guys. The only free energy was the children that were interested. The energy of a child. And now we see that. Anybody writes about Keshe Foundation, anybody writes how a scam we are, now you understand what they have to hide. They lost a child to play, they have to write something to get their vents out, as we call it in English. But scientists in Atomic Commission in 2 or 3 countries, as they come to Ghana and they've been taught by Benjamin and they've gone and they're producing these in their homes, they see their reduction. And this is amazing. Because, as they say, do you listen to the fools? The beauty of it is that the technology gives a chance to Africa not to go under debts anymore. Each family can afford to build the system. We go on televisions across Africa and teach people from now on. We showed a sweet and a stick to the television. People like to know because they can help themselves with malaria and the energy and the other thing. And television channels get a high audience and very good money for their advertising. They see us as a perfect match. And now who's going to have the program? Or are they all going to have the same program one day? If, as I said, in the conference, if the management, all of them, can have reduction in their electricity bill, why not the public? It was not liked, but it was understood. We don't have a choice. The knowledge has to be shared. And as I explained, as we share the knowledge and we bring comfort, now Ghana has a problem. If we keep the knowledge here that everybody comes here from all African nations, now we create another problem. So what we don't need is concentration of technology. So we spread the technology with everyone else. We see people submitting their papers from their electricity bill, but people don't care, is something done. Public heard from the directors reduction in their bills. You got to understand, a scientist in Ghana earns between 600 to 1,000 cedis. This is a local currency a month. Covering the bills, let's say if you earn 600, which is, or 800, or 1,000. 3 months is, let's say 3,000. Saving of 1,700, sorry, 170 CD is a part of that 3,000, because everything is used, is the comfort which gives. Is 5 to 10% of the household expenses. Don't forget, they don't use electricity because it's too expensive. Now that it's cheap, it allows them to live more comfortable. It allows to put the food on the table. It's an additional shirt on the back of a child. It's another book to read, to add to education. In Africa, it's expensive if you don't have the knowledge to gather to have the energy. Now they can do. They are learning that they can use the same material, same process for infections. They're using the same thing for food. We teach extensively in Africa. As we said, Ghana will become jewel in the crown of Africa, and the whole Africa will become the jewel in the crown of humanity. The reality is, I brought the knowledge. The reality is, you spread the knowledge. And I thank you for it. Without every single one of you, it would have been impossible. You have participated in changing humanity, and that's where we're going. Every single one of you. Does not matter you ever appeared anywhere on the foundation, but if you used it to change your life, you have spread the time to have the knowledge. And then you teach another. This conference is a turning point for humanity and for the Keshe Foundation. Malaria will go public with it, how to use it. It would not kill that much, and because it touches more or less 1/3 of humanity, if you go on the internet, put the map of malaria of the world, you will see it's not just Africa, it's a lot of people.